Hello, my name is Chuks from this. Okay, no. My name is Chuks, and my country is Sudan. Uh, Sudan in Northeast Asia, Africa, measures about one-fourth the size of the United States. Its neighbors are Chad and the Central African Republic on the west, Egypt and Libya on the north, Ethiopia and Eritrea on the east, and South Sudan, Kenya, Uganda, and Democratic Republic of the Congo on the south. The Red Sea washes about 500 miles of the eastern coast. It is traversed from north to south by the Nile. All those whose great tributaries are partly or entirely within its borders, and the government is military government. What is now northern Sudan was in ancient times the kingdom of Nubia, which came under Egyptian rule after 2600 BC. An Egyptian and Nubian civilization called Kush flourished until AD 350. Missionaries converted the region to to Christianity in the 6th century, but an influx of Muslim Arabs who had already conquered Egypt eventually controlled the area and replaced Christianity with Islam. During the 1500s, a people called the Fungi conquered, or the Funge, conquered conquered much of Sudan and several other black African groups settled in the south, including the Dinka, Shilluk, Nor, and Azande Egyptians, again conquering Sudan in 1874. And after Britain occupied Egypt in 1882, it took over Sudan in 1898, ruling the country in conjunction with Egypt. It was known as the Anglo-Egyptian Sudan between 1890 and 1955. The 20th century saw the growth in Sudanese nationalism. And in 1953, Egypt and Britain granted Sudan self-government, and the self-government independence was proclaimed on January 1st, 1956. Since independence, Sudan has been ruled by a series of unstable parliamentary governments and military regions under Maj Gen Gafar Mohammed Nimiri. Sudan Sudan instituted fundamentalist fundamental, fundamentalist Islamic law in 1983. This this exaggerated the rift between the Arab North and the seat of the government. The seat of the government and the black African animists and Christians in the South. Difference in language, region, ethnicity, ethnicity, and political power erupted in an unending civil war between government forces strongly influenced by the National Islamic Front and the Southern rebels, whose most influential faction is the Sudan People's Liberation Army. Human rights violations, religious persecutions, and alertations that Sudan has been a safe haven for terrorists, isolating the country from most of the international community in 1995. The UN imposed sanctions sanctions against it. On August 20th, 1998, the United States launched cruise missionaries that destroyed a pharmaceutical manufacturing facility in Khartoum, which allegedly manufactured chemical weapons. The U.S. contended that the Sudanese factory was financed by the Islamic militant Osama bin Laden. Yeah. Since 1999, international attention has been focused on evidence that slavery is widespread throughout Sudan. Arab raiders from the north of the country have been enslaved thousands of Southerners who are black. That's offensive. I'm sorry. The Dinka people have been the hardest hit. Some sources point out that the raids intensified in the 1980s along with the civil war between North and South.